Good morning. In this session, we are going to discuss about the concept of method overloading. Before starting with method overloading, we need to discuss about polymorphism. Polymorphism is one of the most important feature of object-oriented programming. So polymorphism, from the name itself, poly means many, morph means types. So it's the ability of anything to behave in different nature in different context. That is what is the core concept of polymorphism. Different uh, nature in different context. For example, human being. For example, a person. A person behave like a father. The same person behave like a child. The person behave like a husband. The person behave like brother. So the same person behaves different nature in different contexts. That is the core concept of polymorphism here. In our program, it's nothing but the same function can behave different nature in different contexts. We are going to discuss in detail that. So polymorphism can be divided into two, that is compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So this is dealing with the compile time different nature, and this is runtime different nature. Compile time again divided into function overloading and method overloading. Function overloading is nothing but a function can behave different nature in different contexts. Operator overloading nothing but an operator can behave different nature in different contexts. For example, plus operator is the best example for operator overloading. Plus is an operator. It will add two numbers, a plus b or 1 plus 2. It gives 3. Why? Because if the operands are integers, it will perform some addition. If the operands are strings, one string plus second string, it will concatenate. So the plus operator will perform addition or concatenation, depends upon the operator operands. At the same time, virtual function is used for executing the runtime polymorphism. So here you can see these are all the methods. I have discussed these things earlier. Void add, void add, void add, void add, void add. This is a 5 version of add function. Each of them we have different nature in different contexts. So the nature or the context depends upon the number of arguments or the type of arguments. So the argument, the set of arguments plays an important role in method overloading. You can see the number of arguments, the argument signature is different in every function. This is a parameterless, non-parameterized argument. This is a function that contains single argument. This is the same function with two arguments. This is also a function with the same one argument but different data type. So each of them it will make a problem in the array because these both are same signature, so it will create a problem. I mistakenly written that. However, we can do the operation by the same function name and same signature. That process is called method overriding, not overloading. Method overriding, I will discuss it later. So, two or more methods with the same name is called method overloading. At that time, when we are performing the method overloading or function overloading, we need to have a clear idea about the arguments. The execution of the function is depends by the number of arguments or by the type of arguments. So I have earlier discussed the argument signature plays an important role in what the overloading functionality. So there is a program. I will discuss this program here. So here you can see class overload demo. We are creating an overload class. Here you can see within the class we are creating a function named void test. Here also you can see void test. Here also we can see void test. Here also we can see void test. So 4 functions with the same name. So how do they differ in execution? You can see the number of parameters list here. It's a blank. This is India. This is India and India. W. So the type and number of arguments, data types and number of argument sets are different in nature, so that it will identify which function to be executed depends upon the value passing here. So the class, that overload demo class finish here, we are going to main function class overload public static void mains. Here from here we are going to start the execution of our program overload demo. So we are going to create an object named OB of class overload demo. So the OB will get all the functionalities declared in this overload demo. We created a variable double result for storing the value. See ob.test. So this is test. This is a test function without any parameters. So it will directly go to here, the matching function without any parameter. So it will display no parameter. Now the same object of ob.test10. So 10 is an integer number. So it will directly go to a function which have only one argument that should be in the integer. So this is the matching function. It will display in the a is equal to 10. Then will be sending and receiving here. OB test 10, 20. So 10 and 20 are integer numbers. The compiler will check a function which has two arguments and both are integers. So it will go to here and execute the statement. Now we are going to execute result is equal to ob.test of 123.2. So this is a double value and a single argument. It will go to single argument with a double data type. It will go to here, and this value will be replaced here and return a into a. The multiplication will be returned to here. So let's compile this program. I just wanted to cmd command prompt cd desktop where I have stored dir cd my programs. This is a folder where I have stored my program. So these are the functions within the program. Our program name is overload.java. Before that I need to set the path. For that I am checking where my JDK file has been stored. So that is within C folder, program files, Java, JDK bin. This address I am copying here. That address should be set as path is equal to control B. Now I have set. I am going to combine or demo.java. It is a function I have stored. I'm combining for checking. So the file is not there. So let me check the what is file name. Overload, only overload. Overload.java. Okay, compilation is okay. Now I am executing this program. So you can see the three functions executed with the same name by using the functionality function overloading. Now I am overloading constructor. Okay, I am doing another program here. My main class. You can see that for clarifying this concept, I am creating a class animal, animal sound system print animal makes sound. That's a function. Animal sound is a function. Now class pig that extends animal. Okay, so the pig. This is an example for inheritance. The pig is a subclass and the animal is a superclass. So when we are extending from a superclass, all the subclasses with all the functionalities defined here. So it will get the animal sound. The function we are replicating animal sound, the same function we have changing the code system.out.println. The pig says we. Okay, I will discuss this program later because that is something related to inheritance. Now, next topic is constructor overloading. What is constructor overloading? Constructor is nothing but a special member function which has the same name as the class name. So, constructor overloading is nothing but we are overloading the constructor. Okay, so I am explaining the concept by overloading constructor. See here, our class is box. In earlier program, we have defined height, width, depth. Box is a constructor which has same name WW. You should very clear about the argument list WW, double H, double D. We are assigning the same function. You can see another constructor without any argument, another constructor with a single argument. Here we are receiving only one value, width is equal to, height is equal to, depth is equal to the value we received here. So we have three constructors here with three different argument signature. This is a non-parameterized constructor. Okay. Now volume is equal to return width, height into depth. Here we are going the same function at the time of execution, at the time of creation of object, we are specifying the number of arguments. Based upon the matching function, it will go to here and execute the same command. We just try to execute this program. The concept we already discussed in earlier sessions. My box 1 is equal to new box of 10, 20, 30. So it will go to the constructor where which have three arguments which are either double or integer. My box 2 is equal to new box. It will go to a function where no parameter is specified. So this is the constructor it will go. And the other function which is volume, identifying the volume and all. You can see you can copy the code and write the program, try to execute. If you have any doubt, you can come to me. So that is constructor overloading. Now next thing is argument passing. In earlier slide we discussed what is argument passing mechanism. We have two options, called by value and called by reference. So call by value is nothing but the method copies the copy of argument is passing from main program to sub program. So sub program get a replica or copy. So it has the freedom to manipulate any type of operation that will not reflect the main program. In other context, called by reference, here the value address of the variable itself. That means the variable itself we are passing from main program to sub program. So the changes we made in the sub program will directly reflect to the main program. That is the biggest difference between called by value and called by reference. Thank you.